Hi there, you guys. This is Dragon Ball and Cartoon Fan 2004 here, and I just got in the mood to make this video that shares to you guys how I feel about this news that's been talked about for maybe over the past few months now. And I've noticed that I haven't really talked about this news that much on my channel, not even on my live streams, despite the fact, yeah, and I can see how people would be surprised that I haven't talked about this news that much, looking at how much I love Cartoon Network, especially the older Cartoon Network, but yeah, I was going to have this just be like a community post thing, but then I thought that would be a better idea to make it into a video thing, I thought it would be a good idea to make this into a nice in-depth video. So, in this video, I will be talking to you guys about how I feel about this news that's been talked about for a few months now, and let me go over what this news is in this video. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard, earlier this year, it was talked about how Adult Swim will start to air the older Cartoon Network shows, and, old Cartoon Network shows from the late 1990s and early 2000s, shows like Dexter's Laboratory, Eddy and Eddy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. And yeah, it was talked about how they'll eventually air those four shows back to back on Adult Swim. And yeah, if you guys want to know, Adult Swim, they're going to start Adult Swim 2 hours earlier, and on one coast it will be starting at 3 o'clock, whereas the other it will be starting at 6 o'clock. And yeah, they'll air shows like Dexter's Laboratory, Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, all back to back to each other like that, before going on to King of the Hill, and right after Cartoon Network airs some Gumball. Now, how do I feel about this news? Now, of course, as someone who's a big Cartoon Network fan, especially the older Cartoon Network, I think this is really cool news. It's really nice to see great shows like Ed, Edd and Eddy and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy air on TV again. And for me, I think that's pretty cool that they'll now be airing on the same channel as, other shows I love, that I love to watch off Adult Swim, like King of the Hill and Naruto Shippuden. And yeah, I think this is really good news. I'm really looking forward to seeing these older Cartoon Network shows air on Adult Swim, and I'm sure plenty of other people are, because I've seen people over on the internet talk about how Cartoon Network's been sucking for a while now, and how the older Cartoon Network's so much better. And yeah, I am really excited for this news, and I do agree that Cartoon Network isn't as good as it used to be. But like I said before, I don't think Cartoon Network nowadays is all that bad. I wouldn't exactly say they're great, but I wouldn't say they're that bad either. I do remember when I made that one video months ago, back in January this year, that talks about how I feel about the current schedules of Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. I stated that the only great show that they air normally is Gumball, but since then they have been airing other great shows. There have been times where they would air the older Cartoon Network shows on Sundays, and yeah, a couple months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, they started to air the Looney Tunes show on a regular basis throughout the weekdays throughout weekday mornings, and that's really cool. And they started to air Adventure Time more often on a regular basis consistently. Yeah, but now Adventure Time, it seems like Adventure Time is being replaced by this, by Adult Swim starting earlier, because Adventure Time usually comes on before Adult Swim comes on and starts to air King of the Hill. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like Adventure Time is going to air on Cartoon Network that much pretty soon. Which, how do I feel about the news? Yeah, since I love Adventure Time, yeah, that might suck a bit for me, but it doesn't suck too much for me, because, at least they're being replaced with older Cartoon Network shows that are actually really good in my opinion. And yeah, definitely the shows I'm looking forward to watching the most off Adult Swim, definitely Ed, Edd and Eddy and Billy and Mandy. But just so you guys know, yes, I know I have the Ed, Edd and Eddy box set, and I can just watch Ed, Edd and Eddy on DVD, even though we have a lot of DVDs in storage right now. Yes, maybe I shouldn't be too excited for Ed, Edd and Eddy, because I already have a complete series box set, even though it's technically not a complete series since it doesn't have all the episodes. It's missing holiday themed episodes and that kind of stuff. But still, isn't it cooler to watch your favorite shows on live TV rather than just off a recording or a DVD player? Seriously, isn't it a cooler experience that way? And yeah, but because of the box set thing, I wouldn't be surprised that the show I'm looking forward to watching the most off Adult Swim out of those 4 shows will be Billy and Mandy, because we don't have any DVDs of Billy and Mandy, even though this family really likes Billy and Mandy. We don't have any DVDs of those, although Ed and Eddy's definitely my favorite out of those 4 shows. But of course, I'm not crapping on Dexter's Lab or Courage. Those are both really good shows too. Both really good shows, CN classics, but in my opinion, not as good as the Eds or Billy and Mandy. So yeah, I think this news is really cool, even though it's getting in the way, even though it seems like it will get in the way of Cartoon Network airing Adventure Time. And it'll take an hour away from Cartoon Network schedule. I still think this is really cool news. It's cool to see these older Cartoon Network shows airing on Adult Swim, and I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if, like, more Cartoon Network shows, more older Cartoon Network shows will air on Adult Swim too, like Foster's, Kids Next Door, Teen Titans, Chowder, Johnny Bravo, the original Powerpuff Girls, shows like those. And yeah, but something tells me that this great news won't last for very long. You know what I mean? That the fun with these shows won't last for very long, because when you think about it, these 4 shows are definitely not Adult Swim material at all. Definitely not. And if you guys didn't know, back in early 2019, of February of 2019, Adult Swim actually started to air Adventure Time for a bit. Yeah, they aired it for like 2 weeks, but then they took it off the air. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I am aware that something like that will happen to, like, the great news like this with these 4 shows after like a couple weeks. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure Adult Swim stopped airing Adventure Time because it was getting in the way of them airing some other shows that were a lot more Adult Swim friendly. And yeah, Adventure Time's not Adult Swim friendly, and neither are shows like Dexter's Lab or Ed, Edd n Eddy or Billy and Mandy or Courage. So yeah, something tells me the fun with these 4 shows won't last for very long. But I don't want to be too passionate about that, but I won't get my hopes up too much either, and be passionate that they won't, that the fun with these 4 shows on Adult Swim won't last for very long. But yeah, I'll just kind of stay in the middle, you know what I mean? Like, not be too sure that these 4 shows will not air on Adult Swim for too long, but at the same time, not be too passionate that they'll stay on Adult Swim. So yeah, I am aware of that. But like I said multiple times in the video before, I'm really looking forward to seeing these 4 shows air on Adult Swim. And yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. And if these shows don't last on Adult Swim for very long, well, maybe, yeah, I'm sure we'll probably see these 4 shows again. Like, maybe when the Halloween and Christmas seasons come up this year, Cartoon Network will start to air, like the older shows, like this Halloween and Christmas specials from these older shows, and mix it up with the later shows and the newer Cartoon Network shows. Yeah, I do kind of hope they do something like that for this year, later this year. Air the Halloween specials and the Christmas specials from the older Cartoon Network shows on Cartoon Network, and yeah, air stuff from shows from the late '90s and the 2000s, and even specials from early 2010s shows, in my opinion, which like Adventure Time, regular show, and Gumball. Even though nowadays Cartoon Network airs plenty of Gumball nowadays, but whatever. I still love Gumball, and I watch a lot off Cartoon Network. And in my opinion, Adventure Time, regular show, and Gumball are all classics. All classics. I refer to them all as classics, even though they're still all referred to as new shows, which I think is absolutely stupid. But whatever, I refer to them all as classics, even though, yeah, they're definitely not as old as, the older Cartoon Network shows that aired during what people consider to be the golden age of Cartoon Network. But yeah, I am really looking forward to seeing these 4 shows air on Cartoon Network, alongside King of the Hill, in between Gumball and King of the Hill. And yeah, it will be cool. It'll be cool. Okay, I think I'm repeating myself too much in this video. I'm just going to ask you guys these questions and close the video off from here. How do you guys feel about this news of Cartoon Network Adult Swim airing these old Cartoon Network shows? Are you guys looking forward to seeing Adult Swim air these shows? Do you guys think it's not a very good idea for Adult Swim to be airing these 4 shows because of these shows not being Adult Swim friendly? You can let me know in the comment section down below if you want. And yeah, that's about it for the video, you guys. Good night, and thank you all for watching the video.